Faith Walk sisters, it's Priscilla. Welcome back to the YouTube channel and Happy New Year. And if you're new, welcome. So I am excited to be on here. Yes, it's February and it's my first video, but I have some reasoning why I haven't been around, and that's really what the purpose of this video is about. So in 2023, for sure, I am going to be doing mental health check-ins, and it is my goal, whether I'm feeling up or down, to get on here and have a mental health check-in with you all weekly. And it'll just be an opportunity to be transparent, share what's going on with me, to help hold myself accountable, to make sure I'm continuing to do all of the things for my mental health and wellness that will make me feel my best. And then also in the comments, it's an opportunity for you all to share how your week is going and what struggles you may have, and maybe we can give each other suggestions and encouragement. So thank you so much for being here for this. So this week, I want to share with you all really what's been going on since the end of December. I have been dealing with seasonal affective disorder. It has really stunk. It's been awful. And it's also known as S.A.D. Some of you may know it as that. But with seasonal affective disorder, this year I have been dealing with a lot of brain fog, a lot of trouble focusing, and also just feeling tired and sluggish and unmotivated and having some depressive thoughts. And so it's been pretty tough, and I think it's been that way because for some reason this year I just feel like this winter in Maryland seems darker, and I might be wrong. It may just be the way I'm responding to winter this year, but it just feels so overcast so much. So it's funny, right now I'm sitting in my living room and I'm recording this video and I'm looking outside off of my patio. It is sunny today, and it has been sunny the past couple days since the temperature has risen some. So it is probably about in the 50s, 60s, like higher 50s, 60s, right? And so the sun is out and it's shining, and it's really reminding me of spring, and I just can't wait for spring to come because this year has just been like a fog for me. So some of the stuff that I was dealing with was like brain fog, having trouble focusing, just feeling sluggish and tired. And so I'm really just ready to come out of that. But one of the things that I want to share with you all about this is that we really have to remember, especially those that have mental health challenges or have a mental illness that they're living with, we have to remember our routine and our priorities, and that they are non-negotiables. Now, sometimes you may not feel like doing something and you just don't do it, but to be honest, those things like exercise, those things like doing the light therapy, those things like eating well, not eating a bunch of junk and processed food, eating food that is good for your brain. All those types of things are important to do. Let's see. Also, journaling, also taking the time to have, if you're religious, having your personal time with God. I'm a Christian, you all know that on this channel, and so that is very important for me. Making sure that I'm showering regularly, even if I'm feeling depressed and I don't want to do it. It will make me feel better, so I need to do it. So those are just some of the things, even down to like drinking plenty of water. We want to do things that will help nourish and support our brain, because we already know that, we may be having some challenges with that, whether you have a clinical diagnosis like I do, or whether you're just dealing with some, depression and some anxious thoughts, but you really, you've never been diagnosed with anything. It's just, life related. So there are things that we can be doing. And one of the reasons why I'm sharing this is because I thought about setting reminders, and setting reminders is something that I am going to begin implementing. Whether it's a checklist in my Notion account, whether it is alarm clocks that I have to set off. There are certain things that when I wake up every day, it's like I know I need to do them, but some days, depending on how I feel when I wake up, I forget to do them. So like, for instance, sometimes I may wake up and I feel fine and I forget to do my light therapy, but by the end of the day, I remember, oh my goodness, I did not do my light therapy, and I can feel it, and I'm starting to feel down, my mood is dropping. And that actually just happened yesterday. So that is something that I wanted to share with you all. You know, don't be afraid to set alarms for your routine. Don't be afraid to have a checklist that you even have to use every day. There is nothing, you know, punk-like about that. It's good for you. You know, it helps you to remember things, because especially when you're dealing with mental health challenges, you know, in my experience, I easily forget things. And so setting reminders is just something that I wanted to share that has worked for me in the past, and I'm going to begin implementing actually today. All right, so this week I have been feeling great. As I said, the weather has been really nice outside. I've been able to get content done. You know, something interesting that happened to me is sometimes when we have certain depressive feelings, we convince ourselves that we cannot pull out of it. And so, as I was saying, I was having issues with like focusing. And so I had gotten myself to the point where, because I couldn't focus for a couple days, I made myself think that you can't focus at all. You can't get a blog post done. You can't write a devotional. You can't get anything done for her faith walk. You're just useless right now. And eventually you'll come out of it, but you're just going to have to wait to come out of it. Well, you know, I really found that that was bogus. It really was. I found that I had to get my push back and start pushing, and, you know, start with an outline, you know, start slowly and just work on getting my ideas on paper. And before I knew it, I was writing again, and it felt so good. All right, so this week I was able to pump out some content because I had some positive self-talk, and I told myself that you may feel like you can't focus, but, you know, that doesn't mean you can't focus. Stop telling yourself that you can't. Stop speaking, you know, something negative over yourself, and really just making it a reality for yourself. So that happened this week. Also this week, I've been getting back to eating better. I've been getting back to, you know, straightening up my home, because my home became a disaster. So that was good. It's just been a really great week, a blessed week. And I'm excited for the content that is out this week. And I'm excited to get more content together for you all moving forward. All right, so before I close, I want to talk about a quote with you all by Adele. This is something that I want to add to the mental health check-ins, and it'll be at the end. And so I'm going to read this quote by Adele, and then I'm going to give like my reaction to it. So it says, "I can slip in and out of depression quite easily. I had really bad postpartum depression after I had my son. It frightened me, and I didn't talk to anyone about it. I was very reluctant. 4 of my friends felt the same way I did, and everyone was too embarrassed to talk about it." So what I want to focus in on this is being embarrassed about your mental health. This is something that I went through in the very beginnings of my journey of living with bipolar disorder. I had gotten to the point where I felt like, you know, a leper almost, and that it was embarrassing to share the things that I was going through, and that I didn't want anyone to know. And then God really like liberated me from that over time, and I began to really be able to just start talking more about my mental health and my mental wellness, and not being ashamed. There's so much stigma out here, but if you can use the strength that God has given you to not worry about what other people think, and if you have a testimony concerning your mental illness, to share it, or if you know that you need to share something that's going on with you in your mental health in order for you to feel better, whether that's going to a therapist or telling a family member or a friend that you're close to, this is what's going on with me, I need help, I don't know what to do, you have to speak up. And it's so common for all of us not to speak up, as we saw in this quote that Adele gave. All right, and so I don't suffer with postpartum depression, but I'm focusing on depression in general. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. All right, there is nothing embarrassing about what you're going through. What you're going through is really nothing different than anyone else that may live with an ailment or may be experiencing any type of challenge in their life. People have made it so that mental health is awkward, but it doesn't have to be awkward for you. And so that's why it's my goal to become more aware, so that I become more comfortable sharing my story, sharing when I don't feel well with the people in my life who I can trust, and just empowering other people like you. So I wanted to share that about that quote. But I thank you so much for listening to today's check-in, and I look forward to next week's check-in. I hope that you all have an awesome rest of the week, and just be blessed, stay grateful. That's actually what the devotional for the week is about, so make sure that you check that out. And then also I have some powerful prayer methods on my website this week for this week's blog posts that are great for praying over your mental health. So those links will be in the description. Check them out, and I look forward to meeting again with you all next week. In the comments, let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being feeling great, 1 being feeling absolutely low, how is your mental health? And if there's anything that you want to share to get encouragement on, or if you have a question, maybe myself or someone in the comments can answer, go ahead and put that in the comments. All right, so until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.